Please comment. Shall I start the topic? Okay. So we discuss the force, okay, the types of force. So the first force is gravitational force. Okay. Second force is electromagnetic force. Third force is nuclear force. And the fourth one is weak force. Weak force. Okay, in order to understand force better, we can classify the force into four types. First is gravitational force, second is electromagnetic force, and third one is weak force. Okay, so first one is gravitational force, second one is electromagnetic force, third one is nuclear force, and fourth one is weak force. Okay, so in order to understand better, we can classify force in another way, like contact force and non-contact force. Okay, what are the contact force? Like applied force, we can say. Okay, like drag force, we can say. Okay, like there are various types of example of contact force. Okay, like applied force, like drag force, like spring force, like frictional force. I hope you are getting. Frictional force, like normal force. Okay, there are various example. Okay, and there are certain example of non-contact force, like electromagnetic force, like like gravitational force. Okay, these are the certain example. In order to, we can classify the force in order to understand the force. Okay, so in this video we will talk about what is gravitational force, what is electromagnetic force, what is nuclear force, what is weak force. Then we will jump on the topic. Okay, I am repeating once again. In order to understand the force better, we can classify the force into various types, like force, gravitational force, electromagnetic force, nuclear force, and weak force. Or in order to understand the force more better or much better, we can classify one another way. The force we can classify, one of them is contact force and one of them is non-contact force. What are the force which comes contact force? They are applied force, like drag force, like spring force, like frictional force, like normal force. Okay, and the force which comes in the category of non-contact force, they are electromagnetic force and gravitational force. Okay, so here we are going to discuss the gravitational force one by one. Okay, what is gravitational force? What is gravitational force? So as you all know, this is a earth, and earth attract a body towards itself. Okay, and the earth applied a force. Earth applied a force to this body. So this attracting force is known as gravitational force. This attracting force is known as a gravitational force. Suppose that this is a earth and this is a body, this having mass 1 and this having mass 2. Okay, the distance between these two bodies are r. Okay, so we can express like the force is directly proportional to the mass of their body. Okay, the magnitude of mass of their body. Understood? And we can say the force is applied is inversely proportional to the square of the distance. Okay, if we combine these two expression, we will get F is directly proportional to m1 m2 upon r square, and we remove this proportional and put a constant, that is g. F is equal to g m1 m2 upon r square. So this is a force which is exerted by the earth to attract any body toward itself. Okay, so this g is a universal constant. This g is a universal constant. Okay, this is a universal constant. And what is the value of this g? The value of this g is 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11. 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11 Newton meter square per kilogram square. Understood? And you know this is a mass. What is the unit of mass? You already know. Okay, so this is a gravitational force. This is a gravitational force. Or normally, in normal word, we can say a earth exerts a force to attract any body toward itself. That force is known as gravitational force, which is directly proportional to the product of their masses, and it was inversely proportional to the square of their distance. So we can say we will get this expression, this formula, F is equal to g m1 m2 upon r square. So this much force exerted by the earth to attract any body toward itself. So this is a gravitational force. And second one is electromagnetic force. Okay, second one is electromagnetic force. What is electromagnetic force? You already know electro and magnetic. Electro means electricity. Okay, plus magnetic. Electricity means flow of charge. Okay, where the charge flow, and due to the flowation of charge, a magnetic effect is produced. And combined of this exert a force and attract anybody toward itself. So this force is known as the electromagnetic force. So electromagnetic force is totally depend on the flow of charge. Or we can say when the electricity flow and when the electrons flow, when the charge flow, and due to the flowation of charge, a magnetic field is produced. We can say after that a force is exerted due to the flowation of charge. That force is known as the electromagnetic force. I hope you are getting. Good morning, Priyans. I hope you are getting. Okay, so this is known as the electromagnetic force. Understood? I think you are getting the concept. Okay, Okay, I hope you are getting. Second one is nuclear force. Nuclear force. These you are aware of these force, gravitational force and electromagnetic force. I think you listen so many times. Okay, but now we are going to discuss in detail nuclear force and weak force. What are the nuclear force and what are the weak force? Okay, so nuclear force. Nuclear force. What is nuclear force? We can say strong nuclear force. Okay, another name, strong nuclear force. Strong nuclear force. Okay, in electromagnetic force, like if there is positive charge, there is repulsion. Understood? If positive negative charge, if negative charge, there is also repulsion. If positive negative charge, there is attraction. If there negative positive charge, there is also attraction. Means if the charges are same, if the charges are same, if the charges are same, we can say the body will repel. The charges will repel each other. Okay. If the charges are not same, if the charges are not same, they will attract. They will attract. Okay, they will attract to each other. Each other. I hope you are getting the concept here in electromagnetic. Okay, but while we are going to discuss the nuclear force, while we are going while we are going the gravitational force, there is only attraction. There is only attraction force. There is only attraction force. But in electromagnetic force, there is attraction also and repulsion also. Okay, both forces are working together simultaneously. Okay, sometimes attraction and sometimes repulsion. Okay, and while we are going to discuss the nuclear force, or we can say this is a strong nuclear force, in another word, what is nuclear force or what is strong nuclear force? I am giving you some facts. I am giving you some facts which will give you a straight idea to understand better the nuclear force. You know, this is an atom and this is a nucleus. Okay, this whole is a atom and this center part is a nucleus. This center part is a nucleus. So this nucleus occupied only 10 to the power minus 44 meter cube volume. Means if this is a atom and this center part is a nucleus, so only this nucleus among of whole, only this nucleus will occupy 10 to the power minus 44 meter cube volume by total. Okay, and and if we are going to discuss what is the volume of whole atom, so volume of whole atom is 10 to the power minus 23 meter cube. I hope you are getting the concept. Means if the total volume is 10 to the power minus 23 meter cube, only nucleus will contain, or only nucleus will occupy 10 to the power minus 44 meter cube. Okay, which is, if I am going to calculate how much part this nucleus is occupying, so I will get a number. Means 1 upon 21 part, sorry, 1 upon 10 to the power 21 part nucleus nucleus occupy. I hope you are getting the concept. Means if the volume of the total is 10 to the power 23, this is a volume of atom. This is a volume of atom, and this is the volume of nucleus. Volume of nucleus. If the total volume is 10 to the power 23, only nucleus single occupy 10 to the power minus 44 meter cube. Okay. If I am comparing the both, means how much this nucleus occupying the volume, I am getting a state number 1 upon 10 to the power 21th volume of a atom. Nucleus occupy 1 upon 21th volume of the atom. I hope you are getting. Okay. And this nucleus contains 90.98 percentage of mass. Means most of the mass is situated at the nucleus. Most of the mass is situated as in the nucleus. I hope you are getting the concept. Okay. And if I say this is a non-radioactive element. If this is a non-radioactive element, and we can say if this atomic nucleus of non-radioactive element. So if I am taking one example like helium, if I am taking one example like this is a helium, and you know there are 2 neutron and 2 proton in nucleus and 2 electron its outermost cell. Okay, helium atomic number is 2. If I am going to discuss, I am taking one example. This is a helium, and at outermost cell only 2 electrons are situated, and in nucleus only 2 proton and 2 neutrons are situated. If I remove these 2 electrons, what will we get? We get helium with 2 proton and 2 neutron. Okay, and we say, and we call this is a bare nucleus. Okay, we give the name of this bare nucleus, and this is a stable. This is also a stable object. We can say this is a stable element, or this is a stable object, we can say. Okay, and the name of this, after removing 2 electron, two electron, what is the name? If I am going to nomenclature of this particular object, this is a alpha particle. Okay. I hope you are getting the concept. This is a alpha particle. I am repeating once again. You know, if this is a helium, and 2 electron its outermost cell, and you all know the total volume of this atom is 10 to the power minus 23 meter cube, and among the whole only nucleus occupy 10 to the power minus 44 meter cube, means large area occupying only nucleus. Okay, so if I am comparing these both, I will get, means 1 upon 10 to the power 21th volume of an atom, nucleus occupy 1 upon the 10 to the power 21th volume of the atom, means 1 upon 21 part only containing by the nucleus. Okay, it means 99.98% of mass is situated at the center. If I remove this electron, if I remove this electron, so I'll get 2 proton, helium 2 means in the nucleus there is 2 proton and 2 neutron, and we can say this is a stable object. This is a stable object, and we can also give a name. This is a bare nucleus. And what is the actual and scientific name of this object? This is alpha particles. Okay, this is alpha particle. This is alpha particle. So what is alpha particles? What is alpha? 2 proton plus 2 neutron. 2 proton plus 2 neutron. As you all know, 2 neutron. As you all know, 2 neutron. There is no charge. There is no charge. And this, if there is no charge, so they are silent spectator. Silent spectator in whole drama. This is silent. These 2 neutrons are silent spectator in whole drama. And these 2 proton, there are 2 proton, and you know proton are positively charged particle, and proton are positively charged particles, means 1 proton and 1 proton. So one thing is come in your mind, means this is the positive charge and this is the positive charge, means this positive will repel to this positive, but this is not done by the alpha particles. So how it can be possible? How it can be possible? ये भी पॉजिटिव है, ये भी पॉजिटिव है. इट मींस इसको जो है इसको रिपेल करना चाहिए, इसको रिपेल करना चाहिए, लेकिन ये रिपेल नहीं करता है. अगर ये रिपेल नहीं कर रहा है तो इसका मतलब क्या है? जितना ये रिपेल करने में फोर्स लगा रहा होगा, जितना ये रिपेल करने में फोर्स लगा रहा होगा, एक एक्स्ट्रा फोर्स इस पे काम कर रहा होगा जो इसको रिपेल होने से मना कर रहा होगा, जो इसको रिपेल होने से मना कर रहा होगा. तो जो इसको रिपेल होने से मना कर रहा है, उस फोर्स का मैग्नीट्यूड क्या होगा? मैग्नीट्यूड क्या होगा? इज हाई. मैग्नीट्यूड इज हाई. इफ द मैग्नीट्यूड इज हाई, so this force dominate this force. This force dominate this force. This force is low and this force is high. So this force dominate this force. So what is this force? This is gravitational force? No. This is electromagnetic force? No. Means one new force is developed, and that force is known as nuclear force. That force is known as nuclear force. I hope you are getting. सबको समझ में आ गया? गुड मॉर्निंग वंशिका, सबको समझ में आ गया? जिसको समझ में नहीं आया एक बार कमेंट करो, मैं फिर से समझा दूंगा. अगर समझ में आ गया तो मैं आगे बढ़ता हूं. प्लीज कमेंट. अगर समझ में आ गया है तो ओके, मैं आगे बढ़ता हूं. नहीं समझ में आया तो मैं एक बार फिर से रिपीट करता हूं. प्लीज कमेंट. इफ यू गेट द कॉन्सेप्ट देन इट इज ओके, एंड इफ यू आर नॉट गेटिंग द कॉन्सेप्ट आई विल रिपीट वंस अगेन. ओके, एक बार फिर से समझाता हूं. आपको पता है आपको पता है न्यूक्लियर फोर्स. व्हाट इज न्यूक्लियर फोर्स? वी कैन से द अनदर नेम ऑफ न्यूक्लियर फोर्स इज स्ट्रॉन्ग न्यूक्लियर फोर्स. ओके, you know the volume of an helium. Helium is total 10 to the power minus 23 meter cube. Okay, among the whole only nucleus occupied 10 to the power minus 44 meter. If I am going to compare this, I will get nucleus occupied 1 upon 10 to the power 21 volume of the atoms. Means total का 1 upon 21 सिर्फ कौन occupy करता है? Nucleus. So hence the 99.98% of mass is situated in the nucleus. Understood? So if I remove these two electron, I get a bare nucleus. Which is stable object. So I gave the name of this object is alpha particle. What is alpha particle? Alpha particle is when 2 proton and 2 neutron combine together. The combinedly name the object is formed, and that object is known as alpha particles. Understood? I hope you are getting the concept. So you know this is a neutral, this is a neutral, no charge, this is a neutron, there is no charge. So these are the silent spectator in whole drama. Understood? So you know these are the two proton. So proton are positively charged particle, positively charged particle. If the proton are positively charged particles, so according to their charge they should repel each other. उनको रिपेल करना चाहिए each other में, एक दूसरे को क्या करना चाहिए, रिपेल करना चाहिए. जबकि वो ऐसा नहीं करते, वो क्या करते हैं, एक साथ खड़े रहते हैं. एक साथ खड़े रहते हैं तो क्यों रहते हैं, इट मींस एक्सटर्नल फोर्स में कोई काम कर रहा है, एक एक्सटर्नल फोर्स में काम कर रहा है. तो वो एक्सटर्नल फोर्स क्या है, क्या वो इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक फोर्स है, क्या वो ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स है, नहीं. एक नया फोर्स डेवलप हो गया और उसी फोर्स को मैं क्या करता हूं, न्यूक्लियर फोर्स, न्यूक्लियर फोर्स. Okay, so if I am going to write the definition of nuclear force, what is the definition of nuclear force? Means what is the definition of nuclear force? The force which combine two proton, the force which combine two proton in the nucleus, that force is known as the nuclear force. I hope you are getting the concept. Okay. So the next is weak force. The next is weak force. Weak force, or we can say weak nuclear force. Weak nuclear force. Okay. What is weak nuclear force? What is weak nuclear force? You all know sometimes neutron convert into proton. Okay, I'm writing here. Sometimes neutron convert into proton, and when the neutron convert into the proton, there is emission of one electron and one particle. Okay, one particle, and that particle is known as antineutrino. Okay, sometimes neutron convert into the protons, and when the neutron convert into the proton, the emission of energy, means what emission of energy, and what are the things which emerge or which emit in this energy, one electron and one particle. So this is known as a antineutrino. And if this process is happening, so we can say this is a beta minus decay, beta negative decay or beta minus decay. So if I am concluding this, if I am going to discuss the conclusion of this, so you will say a neutron is a composition of electron. A neutron is a composition of electron and means a neutron is composition of a proton and a particle. Okay, so this is not a true, means neutron does not equal to proton, okay, and electron or antineutrino, or we can say particle. That is antineutrino. Antineutrino. अब आप बोलेंगे कि न्यूट्रॉन कन्वर्ट होता है प्रोटॉन में, और जब न्यूट्रॉन कन्वर्ट होता है प्रोटॉन में तो उससे एक एमिशन होता है, किस किस का एमिशन होता है, इलेक्ट्रॉन का और एक एंटी न्यूट्रिनो पार्टिकल्स का। मींस जब इससे ये बन रहा है, इससे ये बन रहा है, तो आप कह सकते हैं कि इसमें ये सारी चीजें कंपोजिशन है, मींस ये इसका कंपोजिशन है। लेकिन ऐसा पॉसिबल नहीं है। जब न्यूट्रॉन आप बोलेंगे तो न्यूट्रॉन आपने बोला कि उसमें सर प्रोटॉन निकला और इलेक्ट्रॉन भी निकला और एक एंटी न्यूट्रिनो पार्टिकल भी निकला, तो इट मींस इन तीनों चीजों से मिलकर ये बना है। लेकिन ऐसा नहीं है, ऐसा नहीं है, वो मैं आपको बताता हूं क्यों ऐसा नहीं है, क्यों ऐसा नहीं है। और जब आपका प्रोटॉन टूटता है, जब आपका प्रोटॉन जब आपका प्रोटॉन टूटता है तो टूटता है एक न्यूट्रियन में और एक पॉजिट्रॉन में, एक टूटता है पॉजिट्रॉन में, जिसको बोलते हैं हम क्या, पॉजिट्रॉन। ओके, अब प्रोटॉन जब टूटा तो वो फिर किस में टूटा, न्यूट्रॉन में एंड पॉजिट्रॉन में। तो इट मींस प्रोटॉन के अंदर फिर क्या है, न्यूट्रॉन है और पॉजिट्रॉन है। तो आप कह नहीं सकते कि न्यूट्रॉन में सिर्फ प्रोटॉन और इलेक्ट्रॉन और एंटी न्यूट्रिनो पार्टिकल रहता है। जब आप प्रोटॉन फर्दर तोड़ा तो प्रोटॉन में फिर क्या निकल गया, न्यूट्रॉन। तो आप भी प्रिडिक्ट नहीं कर सकते। एक बार मैं फिर से बताता हूं, प्रोटॉन, इलेक्ट्रॉन और न्यूट्रॉन। ध्यान से समझेंगे। जब प्रोटॉन न्यूट्रॉन में टूटता है, जब प्रोटॉन न्यूट्रॉन में टूटता है तो एक पॉजिट्रॉन जो अभी आपको बताया, पॉजिट्रॉन एमिट होता है, जिसको मैं क्या कहता हूं, बीटा प्लस डीके। इसको मैं बीटा प्लस डीके कहता हूं। लेकिन जब न्यूट्रॉन पॉजिट्रॉन में ब्रेक होगा तो इसमें एक पार्टिकल निकलता है जिसको मैं बोलता हूं इलेक्ट्रॉन। इलेक्ट्रॉन इलेक्ट्रॉन और एक एंटी न्यूट्रिनो, एंटी न्यूट्रिनो, अंडरस्टूड, एंटी न्यूट्रिनो। सो इस प्रोसेस को मैं क्या बोलता हूं, बीटा माइनस डीके, बीटा माइनस डीके। इसको मैं क्या बोलता हूं, बीटा माइनस डीके, बीटा माइनस डीके। तो आप देख रहे हैं यहां पे क्या कर रहा है, प्रोटॉन सॉरी न्यूट्रॉन किस में टूट रहा है, प्रोटॉन में। न्यूट्रॉन किस में टूट रहा है, प्रोटॉन में। मींस न्यूट्रॉन न्यूक्लियस में स्टेबल नहीं हो पा रहा है, स्टेबल नहीं हो पा रहा है। क्यों तो नहीं हो पा रहा है, तो जब वो टूट रहा है, जब न्यूक्लियस प्रोटॉन में टूट रहा है, इट मींस कोई एक्सटर्नल फोर्स काम कर रहा होगा, कोई एक्सटर्नल फोर्स काम कर रहा होगा। क्या वो ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स है, नहीं। क्या वो इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक फोर्स है, नहीं। क्या वो फोर्स है, न्यूक्लियर फोर्स। आई होप यू आर गेटिंग द कॉन्सेप्ट। एक बार फिर से समझाता हूं। when neutron convert into proton, there is a emission of electron and a antineutrino, that is a particle. Okay, this whole process is known as a beta minus decay. So if we are going to conclude this whole process, so you will predict that a neutron is equal to the proton, electron and antineutrino particle. But this is not true. Okay, proton further, a neutron is breaking into proton, electron and antineutrino particle. Means they are not combining, they are not concept. I hope you are getting the concept. So you get a straight idea about the force. You get the straight idea about the force. Now I am going to discuss one important thing which is in your syllabus. before jumping to your main topic, I want to discuss two more things. Rigid body, rigid body and solid, sorry, non-rigid body, non-rigid body. What is rigid body and what is non-rigid body? If the interspace, after applying the force, if the interspace of the particle or molecule do not change, we can say this is a rigid body. Okay, interspace of the particles or molecule do not change after applying the force, we can say after applying force. So this is a rigid body. And if the both changes, if the body shape and size are changed after applying the force, this body categorized under non-rigid body after applying force. Okay, there are two types of body, rigid body and non-rigid body. What is rigid body? If the interspace of the particles or molecule do not change after applying force, so this body comes under rigid body. If the shape and size are changed after applying the force, we can say this is a non-rigid body. This is a non-rigid body. So now your topic is, next topic is, what happened if we apply force? What happened if we apply force? Suppose that you have a body, and this is free to move. This body is free to move, and you applied force in the direction. What will you observe? This body start moving. After some time this body will come here. After some time this body will come here. Means this body start moving in a straight line. In a straight line along the direction of applying force. And if I fix this body, suppose that this is a body, and if I fix this body, if I pivoted this body, and now I am applying the force. From here, and where I pivoted, I draw a perpendicular line. Okay, I draw a perpendicular line with respect to applying force. So what will we observe after some time? You will observe this body start rotating. ये बॉडी घूमने लगेगी. This body start rotating, and this is known as the turning effect of force. This is known as the turning effect of force. So if this point is pivoted point is O, and this point is P, and this is applying F, so how, what is the what is the what are the factor which affect the turning of the body? What are the factor which affect turning of the body? What are the factors? Only two factors: the magnitude of the force applied, the magnitude of the force applied, and the perpendicular distance of the force from the pivoted joint, and the perpendicular distance of the force from pivoted joint. Okay, so if this body is turning, means what are the factor affecting the turning of body? There are only two factors. One is the magnitude of the force, means if the force is high, the body will turn fast. If the force is low, the body will turn slow. Second thing is the perpendicular distance of the force from pivotal joints, means this is a pivoted joint and this is a particular distance. If you are applying directly force here, so I think you need a more force to rotate this body, much force, okay, as compared to previous one. If the distance is more, if the perpendicular distance is more, if the perpendicular distance from the pivoted joint is more, means there is less force, to rotate the body. Like you have a door, this is a door, this is a, सही बना क्या, दिस इज ए डोर, एंड आपको पता है कि दिस इज ए पाइवोटेड ज्वाइंट, दिस इज ए, जो आपके हिंजेस रहते हैं, these are the hinges, these are the pivoted joint, and you pull or push this door from here, not here. If you reduce the perpendicular distance, you applied force here, and if you reduce the perpendicular distance, if the perpendicular distance is maximum, there is less force to rotate this door, okay. And if we reduce the distance, and if I am pulling or pushing from here, so there is more force to rotate this door. Like आपने गाड़ी का हैंडल देखा होगा, बस का हैंडल क्या होता है, बड़ा होता है, अंडरस्टूड, एंड कार का हैंडल क्या होता है, छोटा होता है. इट मींस बस के पहिए घुमाने के लिए क्या चाहिए, ज्यादा पावर चाहिए, ज्यादा फोर्स चाहिए, ओके. और इधर क्या चाहिए, थोड़ा कम फोर्स चाहिए एज कंपेयर टू इधर. तो कम फोर्स चाहिए, तो ये परपेंडिकुलर पाइवोटेड जो ज्वाइंट है, जो परपेंडिकुलर डिस्टेंस है वो क्या है, कम है, अंडरस्टूड. और यहाँ पे क्या चाहिए, जो परपेंडिकुलर डिस्टेंस है वो क्या है, ज्यादा है. परपेंडिकुलर डिस्टेंस क्या है, वो ज्यादा है. तो इट मींस फोर्स क्या होगा, कम चाहिए होगा इसको घुमाने के लिए. आई होप यू आर गेटिंग द कॉन्सेप्ट. ऐसे ही आपके जो स्पैनर रहते हैं, ना आपका, ऐसे स्पैनर रहता है ना, ऐसे स्पैनर रहता है आपका. तो इसको जो हैंडल रहता है, इसका हैंडल रहता है, ये क्या रहता है, लॉन्ग हैंडल रहता है. तो ये हैंडल जितना ज्यादा लंबा होगा, उतना फोर्स आपको कम लगाना पड़ेगा इस बॉडी को टर्न करने के लिए. जो इसके अंदर क्या है, नट है, इसको टर्न करने के लिए उतना फोर्स कम लगाना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि यू ऑल नो द परपेंडिकुलर डिस्टेंस ऑफ द फैक्टर फ्रॉम द पाइवोटेड जॉइंट इज टोटली is a factor which affect the turning of the body, okay, and the magnitude of the force also, but the distance also. So there are lots of example, and if I am going to, so this is a, so suppose that how much force is needed? So that is moment of force. Moment of force. How much force is needed to rotate this body? Okay. So how can we express the applying force into the perpendicular distance? What is the perpendicular distance? OP. OP. Perpendicular distance and the applied force. Applied force is equal to the moment of force, is equal to the moment of force. So this is a formula. Okay, this is a formula. And what is the unit of moment of force? You know, this is a force, and what is the unit of force? Unit of force is Newton, and into OP, this is a distance. What is the unit of distance is meter. So what is the unit? Unit is Newton meter. Okay, this is a Newton meter. So I hope you are getting the concept. आज की क्लास में यहीं पे बाइंड अप कर रहा हूं. ओके, कुछ बेसिक चीजें वो आपको बता देता हूं. ओके, 1 न्यूटन मीटर इज इक्वल टू कितना होता है? 1 न्यूटन इज इक्वल टू कितना होता है? 1 न्यूटन इज इक्वल टू कितना होता है? बताया था 10 टू द पावर 5 टाइम. 10 टू द पावर 5 टाइम इनटू मीटर कितना होता है? 10 टू द पावर 2 सेंटीमीटर. सो 1 न्यूटन मीटर इज इक्वल टू 10 टू द पावर 7 डाइन सेंटीमीटर. Okay, and what is 1 kgf? 1 kgf is equal to 1 kgf meter is equal to 9.8 Newton. We already discussed this. Okay, and if I am going to ask what is 1 gf cm, this is kgf meter, this is gf cm. So this is equal to the 980 dyne centimeter. So these are the basic things that you have to feed in your mind. Okay, so आज की क्लास में यहीं पे बाइंड अप कर रहा हूं. गुड बाय. कल मैं प्रेशर और प्रेशर के बारे में बताऊंगा. ओके, थैंक यू एंड हैव अ नाइस डे.